अभी हम गांव जी के घर पे आए हैं। उनके लड़के ने दीप सर के मेमोरी टेक्निक कोर्स को पूर्ण किया है। आपका नाम बताइए।
मेरा नाम राजेश गोपाराव गान है।
राजेश, आप कहाँ पढ़ते हो और कौन से स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ते हो?
मैं नॉयल इंग्लिश हाई स्कूल में पढ़ता हूँ और मैं 9th स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ता हूँ।
अच्छा, मुझे आप ये बताइए, मेमोरी टेक्निक कोर्स के बारे में आपको कैसे पता चला?
मैंने पहली बार प्रमिलते हॉल में दीप सर का सेमिनार अटेंड करा था। वहाँ पे मैंने कुछ डेमो देखे जो मुझे बहुत पसंद आए, इसलिए मैंने क्लास ज्वाइन करा।
अच्छा, तो ये क्लास आपने कब किया?
पिछले साल।
अच्छा, तो ये क्लास करने के बाद में क्या आपको अपने पढ़ाई पर कोई असर दिखा?
मेरे परसेंटेज भी बढ़े, टाइम भी कम लगा और जल्दी जल्दी होने लगा।
अच्छा, मतलब काफी फायदा आपको इस कोर्स के द्वारा हुआ है। तो मैं जरूर जानना चाहूंगी कि इस कोर्स करने के बाद में आपके पढ़ाई में कौन से बदलाव आए हैं। क्या अभी आप हमें कोई उदाहरण बता सकते हो?
जी हाँ।
आप हमें कौन सा लेसन बताने वाले हो?
मैं 9th स्टैंडर्ड का इंग्लिश का सेकंड लेसन क्रिसमस प्रेजेंट बताने वाला हूँ।
अच्छा, 9th स्टैंडर्ड का इंग्लिश सब्जेक्ट का लेसन, ठीक है, आप बता पाओगे? बहुत अच्छा।
Christmas present. Joe was the first to wake up on the Christmas morning. For a moment, she felt disappointed for no stocking hung left for the fireplace. Then she remembered what her mother had told her last evening. Each of them would find stocking truck under their pillow. She slipped her hand under the pillow and drew a Christmas color Bible. Meg was, she mother written few words of encouragement inside the book, and it made even more precious in Joe's eyes. She woke up Meg with a Merry Christmas and asked to see what was under her pillow. Meg discovered that she has been given a green color book. Soon Amy and Beth woke up and they had to find similar book too. In spite of her small vantage, Meg was a sweet and gentle girl. Her younger sister loved and obeyed her because she never shouted at them. But on the other hand, she tried to be tactful and gentle with others. Girls Meg told others seriously that mother want to read this book every day. We shall begin it once. I shall keep this book on my table, and I'm certainly glad by reading it every day I must able to remember my duties towards other people. Meg opened her book and started reading. Joe put her arm around the book and started reading as well. How good Meg is! Picking up her book, Beth said, "I will help you with the hard words, and it will explain things to us if we don't understand." Half an hour later, Meg and Joe went to the dining room to thank mother for their gift. "Why, where is mother?" asked Meg to old Hannah, who was living with them since Meg was one and considered more a friend than a servant. "I don't, God only knows. Some poor creature came to beg in, and your ma went straight up how she could help them. I never saw such a helpful woman in this world. She should be back soon. Get on with the breakfast. Meanwhile, we will arrange mother present in the basket." Meg put present one by one. "Why, where is Amy's bottle of cooling?" asked Meg. "I don't know," said Joe. "I saw her going out of house few minutes ago." The girls heard the front door open. It must be mother. Hide the basket quick," cried Joe. It was false alarm. It was Amy. Amy was a little surprised to see little sister Sue waiting eagerly for her. "Why, where were you and what are you hiding?" asked Meg. "Don't laugh at me. I have just went outside to change the little bottle of cooling for a weak one. I thought I will present mother with a small bottle of cooling, but and I would have enough money to brought pencil color for me. But after reading father letter last evening, I thought not to be selfish, so I went early in the morning to change it." As she spoke, she showed the elegant bottle which had been replaced by a cheap one. She was looking so innocent and humble. Meg called her Trump, and Joe hugged her. The front door opened second time. The girls hid the basket behind the sofa as they wanted to surprise mother. "Merry Christmas, mother. We like your gift. We read some today and mean to be read every day. Merry Christmas, little daughters. I am glad you like my gift. But I want to say you one thing before we sit down for a breakfast. Not far away from our house lived a little woman with a newborn baby, and she has 6 more children. They all adult in one bed, and they had not eaten a proper breakfast for several days. Will you please give them a breakfast as a Christmas present?" The girls looked at each other in dismay. They were very hungry, for they had waited over an hour for their mother, and the Christmas breakfast was a momentous affair, and they were looking forward to treat Hannah, who had so lovingly prepared for them. But Meg remembers her promise, and she agreed with the mother, and other girls followed her example. The girls packed cakes, muffin, and bread and cream in the tiffin, and they set off with the mother to the poor woman's house. Mother informed, her name is Mrs. Hamley. Mother informed us, however her husband had died, she had been having a very difficult time. Mrs. Hamley was very overjoyed to see Mrs. March. Good angels come to visit us on Christmas Day, said explained by Joy. Funny angels wearing coats and mittens, said Joe. Everyone start laughing. What good? As she did seem through good angels come to visit them. Mrs. Hamley, Hannah, who carried wood, made fire, and Mrs. March feed Mrs. Hamley milk and porridge, and girls laid the table and feed for hungry children. I will never forget this day as long as I live, said Mrs. Hamley. I will. Mrs. March promised to visit them every day, and the March family trooped back home. Only the media to have providing comfort to their neighboring on Christmas Day. They eat simple breakfast of milk and bread, and the girls give their present to their mother. Mrs. March was too touched and surprised by their present. She immediately put on Joe's slippers and Beth's handkerchief with a well-scented Amish cologne in her pocket, and Meg's gloves look very really elegant on a Diane's hair, and when declared a perfect fit. Thank you.
वाह, बहुत बढ़िया। देखा आपने किस तरह से राजेश ने बिना देखे इंग्लिश का ये लेसन हमें पूरी तरह से बोलकर बताया। अब हम राजेश से कुछ और पूछते हैं। अच्छा राजेश, आपने तो अभी हमें लेसन पूरा अच्छे से बोलकर बताया। हो सकता है आपने इसे लर्न भी किया हो पहले से। तो मैं अभी आपसे ये पूछना चाहूंगी, मैं इसी लेसन में से आपको एक दो लाइंस बताऊंगी, तो क्या आप उसके आगे या पीछे का मुझे बता पाओगे?
जी हाँ।
श्योर, तो पूछूं? Meg opened her book and began to read.
Meg opened her book and began to read. Joe put her arm around her and started reading as well. Half an hour later, Meg and Joe went to the dining room to thank mother for their gift. Why? Where is mother?
Okay, very nice, very good. Excellent, Rajesh, you did a great job. देखा आपने? मैं तो आश्चर्यचकित रह गई किस तरह से राजेश ने बिना देखे यह लेसन आपके सामने बोलकर बताया। इस तरह से आपके बच्चे भी बिना देखे ऐसे कई सारे लेसन्स बोल सकते हैं।
My name is Bharat Mukeshji Bhattar. I am from class 6. My school name is Emerald International School, Akola. Today I will say you one lesson that I have learned last year. That lesson's name is राग की रस्सी। लोनपोगार तिब्बत के 32वें राजा सोन गौसेन गाम्पो के मंत्री थे। वे अपनी चालाकी और हाजिर जवाबी के लिए दूर दूर तक मशहूर थे। कोई उनके सामने टिकता न था। चैन से जिंदगी चल रही थी, मगर जब से उनका बेटा बड़ा हुआ था, उनके लिए चिंता का विषय बना हुआ था, क्योंकि उनका बेटा बहुत सीधा साधा था। वह एक दिन लोनपोगार ने अपने बेटे को 100 भेड़ें देते हुए कहा, तुम इन्हें शहर ले जाओ, लेकिन इन्हें मारना या बेचना नहीं, इन्हें वापस लाना 100 जौ के बोरों के साथ। इतना कहकर उन्होंने अपने बेटे को शहर की तरफ रवाना किया। लोनपोगार का बेटा शहर तो पहुंच गया, मगर उसके समझ में यह हल नहीं आया कि उसके पास इतने पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे जौ के बोरे खरीदने के लिए। वह इस विचार पर सोचते विचारते सड़क किनारे बैठ गया। फिर तभी एक लड़की आई। उसने कहा, तुम इतने दुखी क्यों हो? तो लोनपोगार के बेटे ने अपना सारा हल कह सुनाया। लड़की ने कहा, इसमें इतना दुखी होने की क्या बात है, मैं इसका हल निकाल देती हूँ। यह कहकर लड़की ने भेड़ों के बाल उतारना शुरू किया। जो बाल मिले उन्हें बाजार में बेचा और जो पैसे मिले उनसे 100 जौ के बोरे खरीदकर लोनपोगार के बेटे को सौंपा। लोनपोगार का बेटे घर आते हुए कहा, पिताजी लीजिए आपके 100 जौ के बोरे। और फिर उसने सारी कहानी कह सुनाई। फिर लोनपोगार कमरे से उठकर बाहर चला गया। दूसरे दिन उसने फिर अपने बेटे को 100 भेड़ें देते हुए कहा कि तुम इन्हें वापस शहर ले जाओ, लेकिन इन्हें मारना या बेचना नहीं, वापस लाना 100 जौ के बोरों के साथ। इतना कहकर उन्होंने फिर अपने बेटे को शहर की तरफ रवाना किया।
My name is Girish Koth. I am studying in 9th standard in Emerald International School. I have done this course of Deep Sir, which was very nice experience for me. Some demo I will show you now about 2 questions which are very big in pages. So the first question is, what are the circumstances leading to the outbreak of the French Revolution? Answer: the circumstances leading to the outbreak of the French Revolution was first American War of Independence. When France, it helped France in 2 ways, economically and ideologically. First, economically. When French sent their soldiers to America to fight against Britain, the they brought the ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. These were the economic and ideological differences. Then the second was estate system. The society of France was divided into three states: first estate, second estate, and third estate. First estate consists of clergy, second estate consists of nobility, and third estate consists of common people like businessmen, lawyers, artisans, etc. They were also called the privileged and unprivileged groups. Privileged groups were called first and second estate, and third estate were called unprivileged groups. First and second estate were called privileged group because their all work was done by third estate people, and their taxes were also paid by the third estate people. Then there was third one is extravagance. Marie Antoinette, the wife of Louis XVI in Bourbon family, she was the queen of Bourbon family. She was fond of wearing diamond, and added to this was the extravagance in the palace of Versailles. The fourth was monarchy system. In this monarchy system, there was one ruler to be elected in all, and he was only the person who used to frame all by his method. Then fifth was voting system. Voting system in old regime was per state per vote. Means as there was three state, the per state per vote means the each one group used to win. First and second estate used to win because of this, because they were in majority, and third estate used to lose, and they were under the control of first and second estate. Then the fifth was the subsistence crisis. The population of France rose from about 23 million in 1715 to 28 million in 1789. This all led to subsistence crisis. Because as the food grains could not keep pace with the increasing demand, and because of this the price of food increased at very high level, and so this all led to subsistence crisis. Seventh was the philosophical courses. In philosophers, there were many philosophers. Their name was John Locke, Rousseau, Montesquieu, Voltaire. They all wrote some books and invented some ideas. John Locke wrote the book Two Treatises of Government. Rousseau wrote the book Social Contract, and Montesquieu in the Separation of Laws in his book Spirit of Laws.